don't give up when things are really bad. That doesn't mean that you're a bad entrepreneur just because, like, let's say you have a bad month. You don't have any profit coming in. You're not succeeding. You feel like you're a failure. You know, maybe another month rolls by. You still are not netting anything. Don't give up, because you don't know how many companies also went through the same thing. Like, for instance, I found out recently that Amazon, I think it was 13 years, the first 13 years of their life, they were unprofitable.
I'm Junaid Ahmed, host of Hacks and Hobbies podcast and a digital presence advisor at HumbleZone. This episode is brought to you by Home Studio Mastery. I launched a consultation and course program to help podcasters and course creators to create a space in their homes that will reduce the friction of creating content and appearing their best when showing up on camera. The pandemic gave us a lot of issues, but this one is here to stay. We're now so much closer to our audience thanks to video becoming more popular and affordable. I help guide folks who want to create Hollywood-worthy studios to not only capture great content, but also build more confidence, more authority, and be more comfortable in front of the camera. If I can do it, you can too. And with my help, you can do it faster. So if you'd like to learn more, visit homestudiomastery.com and how you too can create a home studio that brings out your personality, professionalism, and possibilities. Thank you for tuning in to Hacks and Hobbies with your host, Junaid. We're visited by our amazing guests coming from all walks of life who want to learn their story, their struggles, and their journey on how they got to where they are today. So stick around. In this episode, we speak with Kirstie Rickert, the CEO of More Prints and other successful companies. Kirstie shares her inspiring journey from being an artistic black sheep of the family to becoming a successful entrepreneur. She discusses how she started and grew her businesses from zero to millions in just a few years, sharing her tips and insights along the way. Tune in to learn how to start and grow a successful business and stay motivated during the highs and lows of entrepreneurship. Kirstie, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast.
Yeah, no problem. My pleasure.
So I hear that you've grown some really amazing companies. You've gone from 0 to 3.6 million in 2 years for your company, More Prints. You're the CEO of it, and many other companies. So let's start from before you formed these companies. What was coming up? How'd you get started?
I think from a child, I was always really into kind of doing outside the box kinds of things. I love to be artistic. I was like the black sheep of my family while they were thinking of their future and their degrees and everything. All I could think about was my dreams, my ambitions, my goals. And I don't know, I guess I was just different from the get-go, and I can't really say why exactly, but I was very passionate. I think what really got me into business, though, what really sparked it is, I know this is going to be weird, but it was actually a balloon artist. A balloon artist came up to me and said, "Hey, you can make so much money doing kids' birthday parties, doing events." And when I heard that, I was like, okay, yeah, I can do this. I'm desperate for work. I was in high school at the time, so I wanted to make some money. I did that. And it was totally outside my comfort zone because I've never done anything like that before. And when I did that, I got my first taste of being an entrepreneur, like contacting parents, contacting these people. And I was so pumped about it. I was telling all my friends, like, hey, we can make so much more money if we just reach out to all these people. We go on Facebook, we do all these things. And they're like, no, I just want to do the work that they give me. And I felt like I was the crazy one because I was passionate. And then I realized that the opportunities out there were endless. And then that just escalated and led to so many other things. But it's weird. It's balloon twisting, which is odd, but that's what kind of gave me like my first taste of the business world.
No, that's really funny. And it's always somebody that's telling us, hey, you could do this because they've done it. and they give you
Yeah.
like a peek into their world. Hey, this is what's possible. And because we're curious human beings and somebody at your level being curious and being interested, hey, how do I make a dollar? How do I make a buck? Can I use
Yeah.
my time to convert that into money as opposed to working a steady job or working a simple job? So you found that creative route.
Yeah, exactly. It is it's funny, but it's cool how it did open my eyes to the possibility where before, like what you said, I didn't think it was possible. I didn't even think
Mhm.
it was an option because nobody told me it was.
Yeah. Most of the time, we're expected to follow a specific path that's laid
Yeah,
down by somebody else for us, right?
exactly. Yeah.
And it's our curiosity as young kids that enables us to even think outside of the box. No, I can probably figure this out. And being kids and being curious, we have that power to do that. And that's something
Mhm.
I tell my kids as well.
That's good. That's good that you do that.
But sometimes it could get them in trouble because they're not paying attention in
Oh,
class or they're not
I
paying
could see
attention.
that. I could
They're
see
like,
that happening.
because they're like, wait, I'm on this path and I could do so much with this. How can I do even more? And then you have to set those expectations of, I don't know, maybe it's a good and a bad because now they're learning and making their own mistakes.
Yeah. It's better, I think, that they learn from their mistakes and that you're opening their eyes than for them to think that there was never a possibility to begin with, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's really good that you do that.
Yeah. Thank you. So what kept you motivated was that you could make money. You
Mhm.
can see those smiling faces when you create these balloon animals.
Yeah.
I remember watching some balloon animal artists and I was like, hey, this is pretty fun. And I actually bought a bunch of straight balloons and I was
Oh, yeah.
watching some YouTube videos of like, hey, I want to make some balloon animals. It's a lot of fun.
It is a
What
lot of fun.
so after that experience, what did you do? You're past high school, you're in college. I'm not sure where you went next.
Yeah, my dad was, like, really pushing me, like, "You definitely need to go to college, you need to get a degree." So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna make you happy, dad, don't worry." So I
Mhm.
went to college and I always love learning, so it wasn't like a bad experience for me,
Yeah.
but I just began to get, like, more excited, like, when I found out about Etsy, for instance, and the
Mhm.
potentials there that you can list an item and people will actually buy your artwork, like, from all over the world, and I had
Yeah.
no idea about that. And I also learned about a site called Gig Salad where you can
Mhm.
post your different services and whatnot. So that's when I found out about both, and I was just so hyped about that and spending more and more time doing gigs, and then I got into my wedding business, which I started,
Mhm.
like, full time, and then I started the Etsy thing as well, and my dad was like, "You need to find something consistent. This isn't
Mhm.
consistent. You aren't gonna be able to make enough money by doing all these random things all the time. What are you don't even have, like, a path. You need, like, a paycheck, a
Yeah.
salary." And I was like, "Dad, but this is what I want to do." And I felt very discouraged, but I was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna do this because I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing." And how I stayed motivated, I am not sure. Maybe I'm just like I was stubborn. I was stubborn to prove that I could do it, I could accomplish it, that it was possible, and I enjoyed doing it. I feel like when you're doing something that you love, it's easy to stay motivated versus if you really hate it. And I
Yeah.
think as long as you see progress, and I don't think you should give up. I think you should keep trying. Even if you fail a few times, you should keep pushing through it for sure.
No, 100%. I think you're right on the money there because sometimes we don't know what's keeping us motivated. It's the work that we do that brings that joy back to us. Oh, I get to
Yeah.
work with my hands. I get to create this thing for somebody that's going to enjoy and experience it. I think
Mm.
there's a lot of different micro motivations that just keep us going like a little kindling.
Yeah, I agree. I think seeing the fruit of your labor, like being able to see like this wedding client, they were so excited to see the highlight video that I did, and they referred me to another person, and that person referred me to another person, and then
Yeah.
then other people start getting involved. And I feel like it's easy to stay motivated when things are good, but when things are bad, I feel like like that's what truly tests you as an entrepreneur, because if
Yeah.
you can't handle those low points, it's really difficult to keep pushing forward. And I think what helps me stay motivated in those low points is remembering, okay, like I I am who I am for a reason. This is who I'm supposed to be. And everybody who is everybody has had their highs and their lows. And that's just a part of life. And
Yeah.
if you can't accept the lows, you can't grow. You don't know
Yeah.
what's over that like mountain. You're just in the slope, but you don't know what's like at the top. If you stay at the bottom, like you don't know if you push through it, like how much more you can grow. So I think
100%.
knowing that every famous person, every entrepreneur had a low point. So remind yourself it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You're able to push through this and don't give up.
No, man, that's a really amazing message. And as life is, right? We need the night and we
Yeah,
need the day.
so
Our
true.
heartbeat is a wave. Our heartbeat goes up and down, pumping that blood. Our breath, everything is a cycle. Everything has ups and downs, and that's what makes it life. Because if you
Yeah.
wanted just a flat line, that's literally death.
Yeah, it's true.
So you kept going, you kept creating, discovering these new channels of what's even out there, what's even possible. So tell us what inspired you to create the Amore Prints brand.
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think what initially inspired me is I touched on just a tiny bit, but I saw people on Etsy selling these art prints. And I thought, man, I know Photoshop so well. These are
Hmm.
designs that I can easily be doing. So I started by making a few designs and uploading them and thinking like, whatever, if I make a couple bucks, like that'll be cool, but
Yeah.
I'm just doing this for fun, really. And then I was very surprised to find out that a few sold. And then I got, okay, what if I uploaded like 10 more or 100 more? What if I kept increasing the inventory and then like seeing the potentials, like hitting the different types of people that are wanting products?
Yeah.
And as I learned more about the platform, I got more excited and realized that I think my passion is making custom artwork, because that's not really, at the time it wasn't really a niche that was too popular. It was like beginning to develop and getting more popular, but
Yeah.
I wanted to be the company that you come to when you're looking for an anniversary gift, when you're looking for a wedding gift, because I knew that niche very well, being in the wedding industry, shooting all these weddings, and I know the demand for it. I know there was a high demand for it. So I wanted to make a company that met those needs for those kinds of people. And at the same time, I wanted to be able to take this company and grow it and prove that it could be a thing and be able to eventually help other people with the company. It all started from just uploading a few prints and then seeing that there was interest in my artwork and
Yeah.
success with that.
Because people like personalized things because it's like, hey, this is just for me.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna don this shirt all the time because it's got my name on it. Or just I'm gonna hang this artwork up on my wall because this is just one of a kind.
Yeah. It makes it more sentimental if,
Yeah.
somebody you care about is, hey, like this is our song. This is the song that we danced to on our wedding night. And this is the
Mm,
song I fell in love with you with. And when you present that to somebody as a gift, like it just tugs on your heart differently than, hey, here's some flowers or here's some chocolates. Those are nice, but it hits you differently when you
yeah.
give somebody that like a thoughtful gift that has something that only you share with that person.
Yeah. I think chocolates are great, but they are consumable and you're gonna forget about them. But a
Yeah.
print like the ones that you're creating are gonna be there for a lifetime
Oh,
to
yes.
come.
Exactly. Very true. And they can always look up at it and think, oh, like I remember when you gave that to me.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. As you're creating this multi multi-million dollar company, you grew it just within 2 years. And was that very recent? Was it all happening in the past 2 years, or was it before the pandemic?
It was like technically speaking, I started the company in 2018, but I just made the domain. Didn't
Mm,
list anything. I didn't do anything. It was not until the end of 2019 really that I
yeah,
got it up and going. So pre-pandemic and
sure.
pandemic and got to see like both ends of it. And
Mm.
it was for sure a ride for sure, because being able to see, like, what things were before and
Yeah.
during and even after, it's all over the place. I'm sure you've seen it too.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. It enabled us to go deeper inside ourselves and our minds and to bring out the creative passion that was in there. But before that, before even solidifying, hey, this is what I'm going to be doing, you were doing a lot of work behind the scenes because you had that streak of creating something, finding these solutions, and then testing the waters and okay, no, this is what I want to be doing. Now, how long you continue to do that, that's totally a different story.
Mhm.
Being able to grow it and experience that journey, that's something that you cannot replicate.
Yeah. It's definitely like having no knowledge of business, like me not having any business school. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have somebody to say, hey, make sure to do this.
Yeah.
And being able to see it grow the way it did, it's been really crazy. And I would
Mhm.
tell anybody that's trying to start their own business, you definitely need people to be by your side to help you. Like, I feel like failures are good, but I feel
Yeah.
like if I had somebody saying, hey, don't do this, like it would have saved me so much more money. I would have been able to scale faster.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's such a cool journey, but there was a lot of like ups and downs, like a lot. Growing a company that fast, you experience things you never thought you would, and you have to
Yeah.
make decisions very quickly. You have to be really on top of things every single day. You can't just say, you know what, I'm gonna take a month off, a week off, or
Mhm.
whatever. When you're
That's
starting
not
a
happening.
company, your life, that like that business is like your life. Like that's if you neglect it for a day, like that could be detrimental, especially
Yeah.
during the beginning phases.
No, it's like a baby, right? You can't
Yeah. Oh,
have a baby. You got to feed it food every
yes.
3 hours and make sure you change the diapers. And the business is the same way. You got to spend a lot of time in the beginning, and
Mhm.
then after 5 years, or the first 5 years are the hardest, or even the first 2 years is really hard because the
Oh,
kid
yeah.
still doesn't know how to walk. But
Mhm.
now after 2 years, now the kid is walking and it can talk back, and there's a lot of parallels that I can look into because having four kids myself, and my youngest is 4 months old, it really goes to show how much attention they require. And I think
Mm.
businesses are the same way.
Oh, yeah, I would agree 100% with that statement too. It really is like a baby for sure. It really is.
I love it. What was I going to say? Well, Kirstie, it's been really awesome talking with you. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's take a quick break, and when we get back, you'll share 3 hacks to share with the audience.
All right, sounds good.
I'm Junaid Ahmed, host of Hacks and Hobbies podcast and a digital presence advisor at HumbleZone. This episode is brought to you by Home Studio Mastery. I launched a consultation and course program to help podcasters and course creators to create a space in their homes that'll reduce the friction of creating content and appearing their best when showing up on camera. The pandemic gave us a lot of issues, but this one is here to stay. We're now so much closer to our audience thanks to video becoming more popular and affordable. I help guide folks who want to create Hollywood-worthy studios to not only capture great content, but also build more confidence, more authority, and be more comfortable in front of the camera. If I can do it, you can too. And with my help, you can do it faster. So if you'd like to learn more, visit homestudiomastery.com and how you too can create a home studio that brings out your personality, professionalism, and possibilities. Hey guys, welcome back. We've been talking to Kirstie from Amore Prints. She's the CEO, she runs this company, and she's created a lot of other companies prior to Amore Prints. But what she's doing here is personalized canvas wall art, and it's really beautiful stuff that you can keep in your family for decades to come. That's right, decades. So
Yes.
Kirstie, yeah, share with us the 3 hacks that you have for us.
Yeah, I would say, like, touching on what we were discussing earlier, I would say number 1 is don't give up when things are really bad. That doesn't mean that you're a bad entrepreneur just because, let's say you have a bad month. You don't have any profit coming in, you're not succeeding, you feel like you're a failure. Maybe another month rolls by, you still are not netting anything. Don't give up because you don't know how many companies also went through the same thing. Like, for
Mm,
instance, I found out recently that Amazon, I think it was 13 years, the first 13 years of their life, they were unprofitable. And
mhm.
that should be encouraging for a lot of entrepreneurs is you usually don't make that much profit when you first start the business. If you do
Yeah.
make profit, that's a win. But if you don't and you're in the early stages, don't take it personally, learn from it. Think, okay, what am I doing wrong? What could it possibly be? And don't think that it's 100% your fault
Mm,
because you don't know everything yet. You have a lot to learn. You're a student in being a business owner. This is like your first time. I'm assuming this would be your first time, but
yeah.
that is what I would say. Don't give up when things are really bad because there were several times I wanted to give up and I'm so grateful I did not.
Yeah. Awesome. I love that. How about tip number 2?
Tip number 2, I would say build a solid team. Try and find VAs, virtual assistants that can help you take away some of your workload so that you're not doing everything on your own. I think so many people have a really great idea and they can
Mm,
execute a really good business, but their problem is like they can't hit this scalability because they're still responding to emails. They're
yeah.
still trying to talk to all the customers, oversee the ads, come up with the creatives. There's no way that you can be 100% focused on every little thing every single day. It's
Mhm.
impossible. You can't
Yeah.
do everything. So having a solid team where each person is assigned something. Okay, it could be customer support, it could be the ads, but the more you delegate, the more you take off your shoulders, the more you're actually acting like a CEO instead of everything else combined together. If
Yeah.
having a team is crucial if you want to scale. It's so crucial if you want to be sane and want to keep your business because you will not want to keep your business if you don't have a team. You'll feel so stressed,
Oh,
so
yes.
like you will have no creativity. You can't think about the future of the business. There's no true game plan unless you have a team. I would be number 2. And
I love it.
number 3, I would say this kind of I feel like this last point could it's not 100% necessary, but I think it is in my opinion if you can find somebody that you can talk to, a mentor, somebody that you can just go to and say, "Hey, look, I'm struggling with my ads. I'm struggling in this business. What should I do?" I feel like having somebody tell you, "Hey, like your ads are all messed up, your creatives are boring," like having the feedback is
Yeah.
so important than you having to learn the hard way, like losing so much money every month. Okay, something's wrong. What is wrong? Like you can only come up with so many ideas of what could be wrong versus
Mhm.
having somebody to give you constructive feedback. So I feel like every entrepreneur should have a group of people that they can talk to.
Yeah.
They don't have to be like super above you. They can even be at your same level, but as long as you can have some sort of mentor like person to give you feedback, I feel like that will help your growth. And the more people you can talk to, the better, because you're going to get different ideas from different people that see different things differently, because you can
Yeah.
only see so much on your own.
Dude, I love all of the tips, and
Oh, yes.
I agree with every single one of them, right? Don't give up,
Yeah.
keep going. If you're
Mhm.
feeling crappy, make sure you just keep going because tomorrow is another day. Yes,
Yeah.
there might be a storm. What you gonna do if there's a storm? You're gonna wait it out. So just like that, business, you feel the same thing. And having somebody to back you up, that
Mhm.
is totally amazing. And having a team of people. So in the previous episode, we talked about masterminds. Be part of one masterminds where you're talking and figuring out what's going on between each other in your business. And then you get feedback because guess what? It's not only you that's feeling bad, it's
Mhm.
them. They're also going through the same struggles. And then we help
Mhm.
each other out and help them to raise up their level of intellect, help to continue to going. It's almost like you need cheerleaders in our lives because
Yeah.
that's going to help you move forward, move mountains, and just keep moving forward to think. So thank you for those 3 hacks. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
All right. So now we're going to go into the section where I ask these fun little questions. Number 1, what is the one hobby that you wish you got into?
Ooh, that I wish I got into. Wish I got into sooner or wish I got into period? I think it'd be fun if I love film so much. I would love if I got into acting. I think that would be
Mm,
super fun. I've always had a passion for film. I just
yeah.
love watching a good movie, a good show, and seeing the
Mm.
emotion. So I don't know. I think that would be fun.
There is an app called backstage.com. I don't know if you've heard of it before. Where are you located?
Oh, I'm located in Victorville. I'm like right outside of LA.
Okay, yeah, I know where Victorville is.
Oh,
There's
oh,
an app
that's
called backstage.com.
okay,
You can
cool.
find out if there's any acting gigs that you can go to. Now that you're a CEO and you have a team running the company, you can take some
Yeah,
time off and go do some gigs or go do some acting,
I would
being
love
extra
that.
in a TV show or a movie.
That'd be fun.
Um, it's a ton of fun, and you get to see other people that have the same passion for the movie or for acting and stuff like that. So it's really a great way to expand your network even.
Yeah, I agree. That sounds like fun. I will definitely check that out.
Awesome. Awesome. And the next question is, what did you want to be when you were a child?
Oh, when I was a child, I wanted to be a vet. Like I wanted to take care of all the animals. My
Mm.
parents talked me out of it because at the time vets only made I think it was like 10K or something crazy per year at the time when
Uh-huh.
I did my assignment. They're like, there's no way you're gonna be so broke. Like you can't do that. So I'm kind of grateful I didn't though, because I don't think I could stomach all the stuff you everyday vet sees with all the blood and everything. I
Yeah.
think I'm good. I think I'm glad
I
that
think
didn't
you're better off not
Yes,
being a veterinarian. All right, sweet.
I'm glad.
Next up, what is your favorite movie or TV show?
Ooh, I mean, it's hard to pick one per se, but I'm really into Korean dramas right now. I just
Korean
love them.
dramas.
Yeah, I think I don't know if you personally have seen any really good Korean dramas, but they've been getting pretty popular, like Squid Games, for instance,
Yeah.
recently became super popular. Parasite won an award. And I
Mm,
just feel like the quality of acting in their films, like you could see their like lip twitch, their
wow.
eyes tear up at the right moments. Like their acting
Wow.
is so good. The plots have all the right kind of twists. You because I feel like your typical American script is, I don't know. I've seen so many movies that I can predict literally what will happen every single time. With Korean dramas, I'm pleasantly surprised. Oh, I didn't think that was going to happen. So
Mm,
I find it more enjoyable because I can't predict it. And it's just the emotions. I
yeah.
love their acting. It's so well done.
Nice. I have not seen any Korean stuff, but I might have to check some one or two out. Uh,
Yeah, there's so
I
much on Netflix right now.
I bet. All right, next up, what movie would you choose if you got to play a character in it?
Oh, if I got to play a character, ooh, that's tough. I always thought I would make a good Katniss in the Hunger Games
There you go.
because I kind of look like her. I could pull it off, I think, but
Mm,
I don't know. I would be up for anything really. The Harry Potter movies would be really cool. I read the books, so I'm like a nerd about that and all that. So I don't know. That would be fun. Anything that's
which
fancy.
house do you belong to?
I took a quiz and it says I'm like the Hufflepuff or whatever. I wanna be
Hufflepuff, okay.
Gryffindor. Like, I don't care about that, like, random I just want to be Gryffindor and I want to
Yeah.
be a part of that because I love the look of Hogwarts like inside. It's so
Mm-hmm.
cool.
It's
I
very
love
creative.
yeah, it's just so amazing. So any fantasy movie would just be so much fun to dress
Nice.
up. I would love that.
I love it. That's a lot of options we get to pick from. Okay. Next
Yes.
up, who is your favorite superhero?
That is also very tough. I'm not like a superhero nerd or anything like that. So I don't know like all of them. So
Sure.
the ones I know would probably be so cliche. I like Batman. I know that sounds really cliche, but I like how he's one of the superheroes that isn't a superhero. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? All the other ones have like superpowers and they're able to
Yeah.
beat the crime. But Batman's actually more impressive because he's fighting people with like literally no superhero powers. So I
Yeah.
think, in my opinion, he's like the true superhero.
What I hear people saying is that his superpower is him being so rich. That's
Oh,
his
okay.
superpower.
Yeah, but you still have to be like he uses his brain to fight the
Oh yeah,
criminal.
absolutely. That's regardless. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's he
Even if he
is
didn't have the money, even if he didn't have the money, I
he'd
mean, he'd probably wear
still
like a
yeah,
yeah.
he'd still make it. Awesome.
I
I love
think
it.
so.
Kirstie, thank you so much for your time, your wisdom, your energy, and the hacks that you shared with myself and with the audience.
Yeah.
Where can our audience find you?
I'm on LinkedIn and I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. You can even message the Amore Prince team and say, hey, I want to speak to Kirstie. And I'm pretty down to earth. If you want to talk, I'm open to helping people. I'm not one of those like uppity people that's, no, you can't talk to me. You need help, whatever. I'm down to earth. I love to help people. So yeah, any of those platforms, feel free to reach out to me.
Absolutely. We'll be sure to include those links in the show notes. And thank you again so much for your time. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Awesome. Thank you for your time as well. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Got it.
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this episode on Hacks and Hobbies. We absolutely appreciate your contribution. You can find additional notes on hacksandhobbies.com. Please share the podcast with your friends and tell them what you learned about our guest today.